8 best ways to help you to speak slowly when you learn a language. Do you intend to learn a new or foreign language? And have you wondered why speaking slowly is necessary when learning a new language? Great. I am here to talk about it in detail. Nerves can cause you to speak quickly and trip over your words when speaking a foreign language, but it's important to speak slowly and clearly. When conversing with someone in a foreign language, speak gently and clearly. Unless you're completely comfortable with it, don't feel compelled to talk at the same speed as the other person. If you're not yet confident in your speaking ability, keep your sentences simple and short and learn how to ask someone to repeat themselves. You'll have to get used to not being embarrassed when you ask people to repeat themselves. The disadvantages of speaking fast. Several issues come with speaking too quickly. Each of these things can derail your speech and even jeopardize your credibility. May lose the clarity of your message. When you speak quickly, you potentially lose your audience's attention due to a lack of clear elocution, articulation, and an engaging tone. They may hear your words but misinterpret the message as a whole. Risk losing your audience's attention. Another disadvantage of speaking quickly is that it may cause others to tune you out. It's like hearing a telemarketer talk non-stop, and it's just too much effort to keep up with the barrage of information. Depletes your oxygen supply. Speaking too quickly prevents you from breathing deeply enough and can cause you to run out of breath in the middle of a sentence. It could be interpreted as a signal to the listeners that you are nervous. Creates negative impression. Last but not least, the most devastating result of speaking too quickly is that it can leave a negative impression. It can also make you appear aggressive, impatient, or as if you don't care about the listener. You might come across as someone simply trying to complete a transaction as quickly as possible without regard for the other person. The advantages of speaking slowly. Feeling more at ease and in command is crucial when giving a presentation or speech. As there is less to keep track of and you aren't overloading them with information, the audience has an easier time following your presentation. While slow speaking, you aren't rushing to the next sentence. You can put more emotion, passion, and emphasis into your words. You can better control your pacing while being less distracted by random thoughts, side points, and tangents that enter your mind. How to speak slower. The advantages of speaking slowly are clear. But how do you go about doing it? What can you do if you have a bad habit of going through your remarks? There are a few key steps to follow. Breathing properly and control your breath. What happens when we're out of breath but still want to say something? We speak at a faster pace. Therefore, the first tip is simple. Ensure you get plenty of air into your lungs so you don't have to rush. Take in as much air as you can every time you take a breath in. This gives you a lot more control over how fast you speak. You can slow down or speed up as needed based on the sentence and the idea you're expressing. You have more options with air. You won't be able to speak slowly if you don't have enough air in your lungs. You'll feel compelled to speak more quickly. But meanwhile, be aware of the tendency and keep your breathing under control. Time management. What do you do when you're running out of time but still need to make your point? You speak more quickly. As a result, if you want to speak more slowly, ensure your presentation is well planned. Planning the time for every section of your presentation is a big part. It may seem obvious, but I'm constantly astounded by how few presenters appropriately prepare for their speeches. As a result, the presentation is disorganized, rushed, or mediocre. It takes time and effort to put together a good presentation. Not only is it essential to plan out your time management, but it is also important for your image and professionalism. Course correcting in mid-speech. When you're on stage, you're expected to make a mistake. You will eventually realize that you are speaking too quickly. Don't get worked up. It's perfectly normal. Keep your composure. Simply recognize the problem and begin to slow down as soon as you do. Course correcting in the middle of a presentation is necessary for any presenter. Don't just go through the motions from beginning to end on autopilot. You must be able to change your speaking speed and adjust it on the fly. This error could be the result of getting off track, going off on a tangent, being interrupted, being distracted, or having time management issues with the event's organization that are beyond your control. Accept silence. Please remember the importance of silence. Silence is not the polar opposite of communication, rather, it is an essential component of it. Silence is strategically used to create anticipation, emphasize a critical point, or draw attention to and emphasize a specific idea. Talking slowly becomes super easy when you embrace silence. Most new public speakers are apprehensive about, if not outright afraid of, silence. They believe they must constantly yap to keep the audience's attention. Or they believe that silence makes them appear unprepared or unintelligent, which is false. Proper silence illustrates self-assuredness and an understanding of what is and is not important to emphasize. You can't avoid silence if you're going to speak more slowly. It is the core feature of your speech. You must become acquainted with silence, become at ease with it, and learn to benefit from it. Conclusion. So, this was all about why do you need slowly when you learn a language. I have highlighted the slow peaking benefits, fast speaking drawbacks, and how to speak slowly. I hope this guide will prove beneficial. You are also learning a new language.